The reason I think you've got totally the right name for it is it's given me a launch pad, because I've got 4 more launches myself planned in as we go through 2021. And so I've got enough knowledge and information behind me to confidently set up those ads, follow my strategies, and get to where I want to be. And if I didn't have that confidence and that underpinning of the knowledge that you've given me, then I wouldn't be able to do that. I do a coaching program, and I support energy practitioners or people that aspire to be them. So it's an online accredited course, and I'm really looking for people who want to be working holistically but in a professional way. So when I started going online, I ran an initial lead magnet ad, and that's the only advert I've ever run. So I turned it off as I started to niche down, and then if I was really honest, I was too scared to really get advertising out there. And there were lots of horror stories in a few of the networking groups I'm in where accounts were shut down, and so I was just really nervous to get back in that advertising space. With the changes that were coming with the iOS, which obviously we'd been hearing about, we weren't sure how that was going to impact. I wasn't really sure. I'd seen about aggregated event management, and they were just words. I knew lots of words, but every time I looked in the Facebook Ads Manager section, it seemed to change. And it's quite a scary thing when you know you need to do something, but it's that worry that, am I going to be wasting money? If I don't get these things right? I think of not really having a clue with what I was doing. I recognised that actually to run my business, I need to have an overall understanding of the kind of strategies that I would need. The paid ads launchpad, I felt ticked a lot of the things that I was looking for. So it was going to give me some strategies that I could understand. And I think if you've got a framework that you know what you're aiming for, it then makes it easier to put the steps in. I liked the idea that it's quite a dry subject, sorry if that's offensive, but I like the idea that you were recording them so that actually I could listen back. So when I needed to change something and do it myself, it was almost as though you were there with me at the same time, just like a confidence thing, really. I tell you, the other thing that really, really helped was you got us to look at the stats every day and, not look at them every 15 minutes, but 5 minutes in the morning, check your stats and have a look and see and look at the bigger picture. So sometimes if something drops a little bit, don't necessarily panic. And sometimes you need to just sit back a bit and look at the stats because they tell you what you need to do. I felt although I was spending money I knew why I was spending it. And I knew that I was spending it wisely, if that makes sense. When we started, I had got 1,300 people on my email list. And in the time that I've been in the Launchpad group, I've got now over 2,000 people. So that's in sort of 4 to 6 weeks, that's increased. And that was through that initial lead magnet ad, plus my launch. And my target was 5 sales, and I actually got 9 sales. And that was based on the leads and the standard of the leads that came from that advert. And that was you helping me and guiding on the creative and telling me really what sort of advert to run and kind of almost giving me the confidence to spend that budget. I think the way that the tweaking that you suggested with the lead ad got the numbers coming through, that was like, wow, that's a really good advert, that's working really well, because we tweaked it a couple of times. And then actually the numbers of people that I got into my launch was all down really to that successful ad, the second successful ad that we ran. So I was hoping, although you have your goals, if I could come out of that first launch breaking even with extra data, that would have been good. But to come out meeting and exceeding the income goal was like, wow, what more could you ask for, really? There's a lot of noise out in the Facebook world about, all the changes that are happening. And I think sometimes what you see when you're in these groups is you get lots of opinions and they're based on fear rather than actually fact of what's happening. And so for me, it helped me overcome that panic because I was learning the information and growing with it rather than going off someone else's panic and fear based around not necessarily the right information. I think that's something a lot of people, you know, myself included, have struggled with, is sometimes we jump into all these things for free support, but everyone's got their own way. And so it's not that your way is right and their way is wrong, but if you resonate with someone and actually they are interested in your field of expertise, which you were interested in the health and wellness sector, I think it's worth the investment in yourself and your business to get that knowledge and to stick with someone who it resonates with, rather than diving into all these free things and being told different things and then you get yourself muddled. I do feel more confident now. I wouldn't say I'm an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I think I've got enough knowledge behind me that I can now work out what I need to do for my next launch and set my ads up. And if I then choose to work with someone and get them to do it for me in the future, I've got an awareness of what I want, so I could have my input into that strategy rather than just handing money over to someone for them to do it, but me not really understanding. So I've not yet decided which way I would go, but I feel a lot more confident in knowing what I need to do to take my business forward using Facebook. If you want to change where you're at and you want to get some confidence so that you can really grow your business and you're serious about that, then you need that knowledge and you need to invest in yourself to get that knowledge. And I would highly recommend doing it, because if I can do a launch and I can way exceed with all the things that I did wrong in my launch, and have that kind of success, then anybody can. So why wouldn't you do it? I've done lots of different courses, and I think the 6 weeks with the paid ads launch pad, even though I can't say it, has made a huge difference. And I think if anybody's out there, then actually if you engage in the course, it will get you further than where you are now. And even if your plan isn't to run your own ads, you need that knowledge before you can outsource it. Because if you want to be the CEO of your business, then you need to have an understanding of all the elements of it.